I'm going to make a video today of something I never thought I would do in my life, but I've got an HP inkjet printer. Why did I buy a $100 HP inkjet when I know that laser is the best way to go? Don't ask me why. Anyways, I ran out of black and white ink. It's $15 for a regular fill-up and $35 for an extra capacity, which has 3 times the ink. I said, it's an awful lot of money. Everybody bitches about these ink cartridges costing so much money, and they don't last a long time, especially when you print color by mistake when all you want is black and white. So I went on to eBay. I bought a cartridge, actually 2 cartridges of ink for $5 delivered, and it comes with 2 bottles of ink, instructions, and in case you haven't figured it out, I spilled the ink everywhere. Luckily I had multiple layers of newspaper because it says make sure you wear gloves and you have an area spread out with newspaper so you can tolerate all the ink that's going to spill. And lo and behold, I tipped over the bottle, of course, and got black ink everywhere on all my newspapers. So I ran the servicing on my printer, where you run a maintenance program or cleaning program, and I tried it 10 times, and it takes 2-3 minutes each time, and I'm wasting my time falling asleep on the couch. So I finally went to YouTube, and it says put some distilled water. Now distilled water has the minerals removed by a distilling process where it steams the water, collects the steam. So I took a coffee cup and I cut it down and I stuck it in the microwave for 30 seconds, got it nice and hot, and I stuck my ink cartridge into it like this, into the hot water. And remember, the ink is water soluble. You don't have to use alcohol, even though alcohol does work. Why bother? I took the water, stuck the ink cartridge into it, and look at that. This cartridge did not work. I tried it 5 times. Stuck it on a tissue. Make sure you have lots of tissues because the ink gets everywhere. And I blotted it, and I put it back in the water, and I blotted it. And one guy says to expose the hole, there's a hole right underneath that black dot that you fill the sponge up with a syringe. He said use 9 millimeters, or the instructions that I have here said use 9 milliliters of ink, which is not a lot. It's like 12 drops. So I put more ink in, still didn't work. There's a sponge inside here, so you're just filling up a sponge, and it takes 8 hours to saturate the sponge, get to the bottom. Some ink cartridges have a little button that you have to reset, not the HP, they're low tech. And I stuck the other ink cartridge back into the machine, and I pressed test, and the very first one worked perfectly. A couple things that you have to keep in mind, and I'm no expert at this, trust me. A couple things you have to keep in mind is, once you're done with the water, make sure you dry it off very well and put it over the garbage can and do this, because water will get trapped everywhere. Water has a lot of surface tension, which means it's sticky. And then blot it on the paper towel, maybe rub it a bit. There's tiny, tiny, tiny ports where the ink exits. They're half the width of a human hair. They're really, really small, and water is really, really big, which is why you have to use warm water. So blot it, and then swoosh it into the trash bin, and then blot it again. Don't rub it because you don't want to get fibers of ink stuck in these grooves. And then bring up the screen and scroll across to print setup, and scroll, and it says printer maintenance, clean cartridges. And I've put an empty color cartridge in because otherwise it uses your color. It doesn't give you the option that I know of just running a black and white cleaning. It runs the color too, and I also didn't want to waste my expensive color ink because I don't have any color ink refills. And I've got half a container of color, so I put an empty cartridge in, and it runs this diagnostic, this cleaning, this service, whatever you want to call it. Somebody in some far-off land, like where they make the 2.8 diesel Duramaxes, 4 cylinders they put in Colorado's, makes these things, and who knows how they're programmed. Too bad you can't just run the black maintenance program or cleaning program. So it takes a few seconds. It gives you a second way to do it, which takes longer. Second step, it gives you a third step. I just kept pressing. Come on, I want to print some things.
Yeah, come on, come on.
Yeah, come on. Leave me alone. Jeez. So that was beating me up. So what did it take now? 30, 45 seconds? And I tried it several times, and out came a blank sheet of paper after I ran their utility, after I filled the ink cartridge. So let's see what comes out of this thing now. Whee! Look at that. There's a million different recommendations on YouTube on how to clean and make your clogged ink cartridges work. One guy even said if it's been sitting for more than a few weeks, just throw it in the garbage. And the other guy says, don't throw it in the garbage, run it through some hot water, because it's water soluble, and that works perfectly. Look at that. Check the print quality of the printed page. If the print quality is unsatisfactory, try using the third level cleaning. The third level cleaning is more thorough and may take several minutes. It uses more ink and one sheet of plain paper. Do you want to proceed to the third level cleaning? I don't think so. I think I'm all set to start printing on my inkjet printer with $5 worth of ink, half of which is spilled on the floor. And the place that I bought this from, to give them a shout out, was not named. That's dumb. But I did save the bag. And let's see what it says. It says the guy's name. I don't want to give you his name. We all want to be unanimous. So there's the bag. And it worked. Thank you very much. And now I'm going to have 1,000,000 hits. Yeah, right. Need to clean up this desk. What a mess. Yo, Mississippi Chick, you got to come bring your broom and dustpan and throw everything in the garbage.